In 2004, The Sims 2 hit shelves and forever changed the way we thought about video games, domestic life, and whether or not it was morally acceptable to trap your neighbors in a windowless basement for science. Where Sims 1 gave us the digital dollhouse, The Sims 2 gave us generational drama, essential dread, and more ways to accidentally set your house on fire than most real cities see in a year. For many, The Sims 2 was the first true taste of godhood. Not the benevolent kind, though. The kind of God who hands out jobs at random, micromanages bathroom breaks, and occasionally dives to see the door to see who cracks first. If Karl Marx had played this game, he would have thrown Das Kapital out the window and started writing about grilled cheese inspirational points. The most groundbreaking feature of The Sims 2 was its legacy system. Finally, Sims A's died and passed straight to their children. EA sold this innovation, but players saw something far more sinister, the opportunity to create entire digital dynasties riddled with chaos. You start with one Sim, maybe a quirky bachelor who dreams of romance. Fast forward 3 hours, and he got several illegitimate children, 2 restraining orders, and one suspiciously identical looking granddaughter because you forgot that maybe cousins shouldn't marry each other. The family dream becomes less genealogical and more a Lovecraft Nation spiral of repeated noises and haunted jawlines. Generation 10 isn't a legacy, it's a curse. Every Sim is governed by 6 or so needs: hunger, comfort, hygiene, fun, social, energy, and bladder. These look simple on paper, but in practice they are ticking time bombs. Forget to feed your Sim after a long day at work. They collapse on the kitchen floor like a fainting goat. Ignoring hygiene too long, they walk around in a green cloud, taking all their social interactions because apparently nobody wants to talk about the smelly guy who just peed on himself at the dinner party. And bladder, oh bladder. If there's one thing The Sims 2 taught us, it's when you gotta go up and go now. There's no dignity. Your Sim could be CEO of a Fortune 500 company making $1,000 a day, but the moment you miss the toilet, they're sobbing in a puddle on the floor while their spouse files for divorce. Life lesson: power is temporary, accidents are forever. Romance in The Sims 2 are equal parts delightful and horrifying. Sims can woo, flirt, marry, cheat up, and break. Affairs are easy to start, harder to hide, and nearly impossible to start from exploding in your face. Picture this. Your Sim's husband comes home from work early. He finds his kissing the neighbor in a hot tub you brought with his promotional bonus. He slaps her, slaps the neighbor, and then the game hits you with the Sim X is now furious with Sim Y. That fury lasts 2 Sim weeks, which is roughly 6 years in dog time. And then there's the romance appreciation Sims, who just want to woo that Sim speak to get freaky with as many people as possible. These Sims could push Pleasant View into the set of a telenovel faster than you can say jealousy mechanic. When death comes, it always does. The Grim Reaper arrives. It's not just a sober angel of fate. No, it's just the peak in a cloak. He fills out paperwork, drops an arm, and occasionally lets you plead for your Sim's life. How do you plead? Dance contest. That's right. Death himself will decide whether grandma comes back to life based on whether you can boogie him. Forget CPR, forget medicine. In The Sims 2, you can save lives with the electric slide. The Sims 2 was great on its own, but the expansions turned it into something greatly unhinged. University, college Sims could study art, philosophy, or keg stands, which introduced streaking as a valid academic pursuit. Nightlife, attic cars, dating, and vampires. Suddenly, your suburban mom could become Dracula, which honestly made the PTA meetings more interesting. Pets, cats, and dogs added. Yes, they pee on the floor. Yes, they can be taken by the Grim Reaper or emotional damage maximum. Seasons, weather, also gardening, also accidental death by hailstorm. Bon voyage. Take trips to exotic destinations because nothing says escape you're dragging your Sims to the beach only for them to get food poisoning from bad lobster. For business. Finally, you can run your own bakery, or you could run a black market furniture store where you could charge $200 for a folding chair. Capitalism at its finest. Each expansion was less quality of life improvement and more. Let's see what happens when we add one more of these chaos mechanics to the blender. We need to address the elephant in the room. No one played The Sims 2 purely wholesome. Some people tried to simulate real life, but sooner or later you discover the joy of playing mad scientists. The pool ladder trick, a classic. Remove the ladder, weight, natural selection, in color-letter form. The wall test. Trap a Sim in a room with no doors. Watch eventually they start talking to themselves like a Victorian ghost. The fire experiment. Place 10 souls in the kitchen. Put a Sim with zero cooking skill in charge of spaghetti. Darwin Allward unlocked. The baby accident. Forget to feed your baby. Boom. Social worker. The game forces responsibility on to you like a disappointed aunt. It's less life simulator and more what would you do if laws didn't exist. Despite of absurdity, The Sims 2 reminds one of the most beloved entries in the franchise. It captures something oddly real, the messiness of family, the unpredictability of relationships, the inevitability of disaster, and the horror you find when everything falls apart. It's a suburban soap opera, a psychological experiment, and a comedy sketch rolled into one. Sometimes it's heartfelt, watching your Sims grow old surrounded by their grandchildren. Sometimes it's tragic, watching the same Sim step in the kitchen on fire during a birthday party. But it's entertaining. Final score, chaos factor, 11 out of 10. This is not a drill. Accuracy to real life, 1 out of 10, unless your neighbors really do get stuck in pools. Emotional damage, 9 out of 10. Grim Reaper took the dog. The replay value is infinite. There's always another pool ladder to delete. The Sims 2 isn't just a game. It's a philosophy lesson, a morality play, and a stress test for your compassion. It's the digital equivalent of handling a toddler a flamethrower and saying, make a nice meal. And honestly, we wouldn't want it in any other way.